Today's Sunshine Note is titled, Laugh It Up. So Sarah laughed to herself, saying, After I am worn out and my Lord is old, shall I have pleasure? Genesis chapter 18, verse 12. Wes is 82 years old. Wes has lived for about 30,000 days. Wes has survived the Great Depression, World War II, and the invention of the cell phone. Wes should be at home sitting on the porch sipping lemonade. Instead, Wes is flying to Mozambique this fall to put on a series of evangelistic meetings for people who don't know about Jesus. Wes is our church janitor who moves things by himself when most people would find a helper or two to save their back. Wes is also the head elder in my church. Wes has somehow decided that advancing in years is not going to keep him from becoming and doing whatever the Lord calls him to do. Wes has not taken the position ever that would take him out of the game. Sarah had given up. She was worn out and wrung out and tapped out. God's promise meant nothing to her because she couldn't see past her wrinkles. She had every reason to doubt. She had passed her child-producing years, biologically speaking, long before. She and Abraham had tried and tried and tried to somehow fulfill the promise that Abraham would have a heir. And that had just become an exercise in frustration. And now, after all that, she was supposed to believe that God was going to pull off some sort of miracle and make her fruitful again? Fat chance. So she laughed. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? Pimples? Hair that won't cooperate? Crooked teeth or thin lips? A person who's too fat or too skinny? Too short or too tall? Do you see a person who has tried and tried and tried to be who they think God wants them to be, but seemingly fails every time they attempt to live up to God's promises? I think the first thing we all have to do is approach life as Wes does. Refuse to give in to self-doubt or negative expectations. See yourself as God sees you, as someone who is a conqueror in whatever He has called you to do. God's idea for you is more than you can even dream. So let's not laugh off His calling as if it is something trite. Let's live our lives as though His promises were already fulfilled in us. So Sarah laughed to herself, saying, After I am worn out and my Lord is old, shall I have pleasure? Genesis chapter 18, verse 12. May God bless you today.